Howdy friends, well my name is John and I will be your safari guide through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Now friends, I please ask that you remain seated at all times, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle. Also a quick reminder to have those face coverings on at all times during our safari today. Now friends, if you take a look up, you'll see the animal spotting guide, which will better help you spot some of the animals here at Harambe. That'll definitely come in handy in our first location, known as the Little Aturi Forest, where animals here are rather shy and reclusive, so keep your eyes peeled. And coming up on the left-hand side, the very first animal that I've spotted at the very top of the hill, you can see him bouncing. That is the saddle-billed stork, which gets its name because of the very unique yellow coloration it has on its bill, kind of like in the shape of an English saddle. I'm not sure. I see him do that every once in a while. He's just fly away. And coming up on the left-hand side, it looks like the watering hole of the Little Aturi Forest, where animals here, such as the black rhinoceros, will gather to drink water. Now, black rhinos are actually some of the smaller rhinos in their species, weighing about 3,500 pounds, where that is large compared to most animals. That's about 2,000 pounds lighter when compared to other rhinos. Black rhinos also do have a tendency to be territorial animals, and that's just because they want to protect themselves from the many different predators that live around them. Now, like most animals here, the black rhinoceros is a browser, which means that they like to eat leaves off of bushes and trees. They actually have a triangular shaped mouth, which gives them an edge when eating leaves off of bushes and trees. Better view of them from the left hand side. Now, with that said, friends, we're going to head on down to the Safi River, which hosts some of the aquatic animals that live here at Harambe. Now, a quick tip when spotting animals on the river, in particular the Nile hippopotamus, is you're going to want to look above the water for eyes, noses, and ears. You see, hippos don't have sweat glands, so it could be extremely uncomfortable for them to be out of the water. Especially, even on days like this where it's actually nice and cool out, they still will, for the most part, stay in the water. Now that doesn't mean the hippos don't come out of the water at all. They will occasionally come out to feed or to sunbathe, but for the most part they stay in the water, just like you see here off to our right hand side. Now, hippos can stay submerged underwater for about 8 minutes at a time, and then they come up for a quick breath of air, and boom, they go straight back down. Hippos are herbivores, but with that said, they are also territorial animals as well, and that's just because they want to protect themselves and their babies from the many different predators that live on the river with them. Some of the methods that they use is they will group together in the water, forming a bloat of hippos, like you see off to our left-hand side. And two, they'll actually spray fecal matter into the air, which produces a very strong and potent smell. Also coming up on our left-hand side, just in the island there, are some pink-backed pelicans, which get their name because of the pinkish coloration on their backs, although it does tend to get much brighter during mating season, so it might be kind of difficult to spot just at the moment. Side, some beautiful waterfalls, and just past some I spotted the Nile crocodile, actually a pit of Nile crocodiles. Now, crocs are known for taking on prey bigger than themselves, including baby hippos, antelopes, and even sometimes other crocodiles. They're about as long as a giraffe, which is about 18 to 20 feet long, and they're quite strong enough to crush you over. But with that said, crocs can also be animals as well. They actually carry their babies around in their mouths to keep them safe from other predators on the river. In order for them to do that, they have to have a very delicate hold in those jaws. Now, with that said, friends, we're going to head on over to the savannah, which hosts some of the world's most famous and well-known animals. But before we get down there, a very important part of the savannah coming up on the right-hand side, it is known as the baobab tree. Now, the reason why baobab trees are so important is because throughout the year they collect and hold thousands of gallons of water inside of them. During drought seasons, animals have the ability to survive and drink water because of baobab trees. Now, unfortunately, due to a lot of current habitat loss going on in the savannah, a lot of baobab trees haven't been making it past their premature years when they have lifespans around thousands, which is why it is important for us to spread this information to our friends and family, because it not only makes an impact on the baobab trees, but the animals that rely on them as a water source. Animals such as the wildebeest, which are coming up on our right-hand side, way off in the distance, sporting a blackish gray coat and tiny horns. Wildebeests are also considered some of the savannah's most well-known animals, just because around 1.5 million of them each year travel to the savannah. They also get a lot of mileage, traveling anywhere from 500 to 1,000 miles each year. Also off to our right-hand side, the tall standing orange structures, those are known as termite mounds, made out of mud, saliva, and animal dung. Once dry, they become the termites' home, but many animals in the savannah will use them as scratching posts. Yeah. There's a hyena over there. He's over there at the cave.
Yeah. Thank you.
Looks like coming up on our left-hand side, it looks like some Ankoli cattle, which have some massive horns. They actually use those massive horns to their advantage by circulating blood through them to help control their natural body temperature, which keeps them cool on the hot, humid days in the savannah. They are also the only domesticated animals that live in the savannah, used as dairy cattle. All of the animals here. I'm trying my best to point out as many as I can possibly see. It looks like coming up on our left-hand side, I'm spotting some very tiny antelopes. Those are known as springboks. Now, springboks get their name because when excited, they can actually jump about 6 feet in the air. Springboks can also catch up to speeds of around 60 to 70 miles an hour.
Springboks.
Look, humans.
Get your hands off me, you damn dirty pigs.
Now, coming up ahead of us, friends, are some more baobab trees. Certain animals in the savanna will puncture holes in the sides of baobab trees to get water out of them during drought seasons.
There's a baobab tree right there to the left. Oh,
Yeah.
both to the right.
And yeah, that just doesn't look real to me.
I think they're fake.
Coming up on our left-hand side, way off in the distance out there, I'm actually spotting an African elephant. Now, African elephants have big floppy ears, which they use to flap against their skin, kind of acting like a fan, which keeps them cool on the hot, humid days in the savanna. Yeah. Typically, Asian elephants, though, have much smaller, square-shaped ears because they live in cooler climates. They don't need to keep themselves cool like African elephants do. So coming up ahead of us, it looks like a flamboyance of flamingos, but not just any flamingo, the greater flamingo, which is the lightest pink colored flamingo in the world. They get that light pink color from eating things such as brine shrimp and other water creatures that contain something called beta carotene, which holds the pigment that changes its feathers that beautiful pink color. Now, when a flamingo is first born, they actually come out as a grayish white color, and as time progresses, that's when their feathers start to develop pink. Might even be able to see quite a few of them in there with their grayish white feathers still. Also, the island that they're standing on kind of has an odd shape to it. Maybe it's just me.
It's pretty. This one to be pretty new.
And coming up on our left-hand side, the scimitar horned oryxes, which get their name because of the very unique shape of their horns, very long, skinny, and curved, like the scimitar sword, which was very popular. It was used many years ago. Most likely you've seen it in movies, TV shows, and other forms of media. But that's why they get the name scimitar horned oryx. Also coming up on our left-hand side are some mud pits. Now, certain animals in the savanna will use mud as a natural sunblock because, like humans, they have very sensitive skin when it comes to the sun. Typically, elephants will fling mud up on their backs, keeps their backs safe and protected from the sun. Coming up ahead of us to our left-hand side, it looks like a cheetah. Now, cheetahs are the fastest animals in the world, catching up to speeds of around 70 to 80 miles an hour. Although they're not really considered long-distance runners, they run fast in short bursts, which means that they run fast, take a break, run fast, take a break. But aside from them chasing down their prey, they're actually very calm and relaxed animals and will rest quite a bit throughout the day. I'd say about 80% of the time that I actually get to see them, they're actually resting. So.
Oh, there's two of them. Look at that. Oh, crap.
Oh, look at that one. Woo.
Unbelievable. Oh, shoot. Tiger, buddy. Yeah, they can run fast enough to jump right in here. They want it. Yeah, they want it.
And coming up ahead of us are some Kopi rocks. Now, certain predators in the savanna will use Kopi rocks as a vantage point to scan the savanna for prey. And coming up on our right-hand side, a very rare form of antelope known as the bontebok. And the reason why it's so rare is unfortunately because of habitat loss. This is actually some of the last places on Earth you can find the bontebok. Now, like I've been saying all day about animal conservation, something that you can do to help animals out. or really any animal out, is just by spreading information to our friends and family. It's the most impactful thing that you can do. The more people that know about this kind of stuff, the much bigger impact it makes. So coming up on our left-hand side, it might be kind of difficult to see them, but it looks like some lions down there.
Oh, lions.
Top of the Kobe
Yeah.
Rocks.
Oh my god.
Lions will rest anywhere from 18 to 20 hours throughout the day. Does not mean that they sleep all day. They still get up and do stuff, but for the most part, they rest. At night, though, they are active. They have about 6 times greater eyesight at night than they do during the day when compared to humans. Pretty much during the day, both humans and lions have the exact same eyesight, whereas at night, lions have 6 times greater eyesight. It looks like they are about ready to go in. It's too cold for them right now, so.
Yeah, there better be a huge pit over here. You looked over here. Yeah.
Also, coming up on our right-hand side is a water buck, which gets its name because of its fur coat. It looks like it's always wet, and the reason why is because it is. They spend a lot of time around various bodies of waters, which keep them cool on the hot, humid days in the savannah.
Almost. It's like
All right, my friends. Well, we're going to head on into the Magadi Glen, which is known for its rehabilitation purposes here at Harambe. Typically, animals that are sick or injured will come to the Magadi Glen to get better. Once they do, we either return them to their homes in the wild, or we find them a new home here at Harambe. With that said, it looks like our safari journey will be coming to an end very soon. That doesn't mean your journey with the animals has to. Like I've been saying all day about animal conservation, just by spreading facts or maybe your own conservation message to your friends and family, it helps out animals that suffer from habitat loss, poaching, pollution, and many other sources. You can also donate to the Disney Conservation Fund if you'd like, and Walt Disney Company will match your pay dollar for dollar, penny for penny, meaning that if you donate just $1, Walt Disney Company will match it with another dollar, making it $2. And once again, friends, my name was John. I hope you all had a great time with me this evening spotting some animals. Please come back for more safaris in the future. It's definitely worth a second shot, just because no two safaris are the same, just due to migratory patterns here all throughout Harambe. Also, just another friendly reminder to make sure you have those face coverings on all the way over your nose and chin, and to make sure to double check those rows for any personal belongings, such as cell phones, keys, wallets, bags, purses, children. Believe me, I remind people all the time, and somehow they still manage to forget. So please, double check those rows, friends. It takes like 2 seconds, and you'll feel a lot better knowing that you have all of your stuff.